Hello, hello, my friend. My name is Jeff Birch. I'll be getting started here in just a second. I want to make sure everything is dialed in and tuned in. I wish I could, what do they call that? Zoom in my webcam a little, but it's built in the laptop, so I can't do anything about it. So give me 1 second, we'll get going here. All right. Everything's looking good. Hope you're doing great tonight. I want you to pay attention tonight because I've got some really great information I'm going to share with you. I want to talk to you about, as you're watching this video, I want you to realize that it wasn't very long ago I was scared to death to get behind the camera and make a video. It was just over a year ago I actually did my first live broadcast, and I can still remember. I remember my hands were all sweaty, my knees were shaking, my gut was in just knots. It's called terror. If you haven't tried it, it's quite an experience. A lot of us have that feeling when it comes to putting ourselves out there, putting ourselves in front of other people to be ridiculed, maybe made fun of, or just talked about. We don't like to be talked about. We don't like people to we don't like to feel like people are nipping at us, right? and a lot of times when you're getting into things like blogging or home business or making money online, we start to hear those little nips from all around of, you can't do that. What makes it you special enough that you could have success doing something like blogging? And there's a lot of that chatter out there, and sometimes we have to really just shut off the distractions and pay attention to something that is in front of us and might be providing us value, providing us the information we need to make a better choice in life, a better decision that could serve our future. And that's really what we want. We want to always be moving in a direction that's better serving us. And I found from my experience that a big problem a lot of us have is we don't set intentions. We don't set intentions for our days, for our weeks, for our months of life. So a lot of people just wander through life with no intention, no direction of where they really want to go, and to no fault of their own. It's something that we're not really taught. It's something that in school we're taught a lot of information, right? A lot of useless information. There's a lot of stuff about past events that it's good to know history. It's good to know where we're from, but as far as being useful information that we could use and benefit our life, a lot of what we learn in school is not that. What we learn after school, what we learn through experience, is really what makes the difference. And a lot of times we have to learn from personal development, taking our own initiatives, picking up a book. And there's one thing that's very, very common in all those books, and that's goal setting. It's something that I've struggled with personally. I'm not one, or haven't been. I'm changing, so I'm not going to say that. I haven't been up to this point one that took goals seriously. I never wrote them down. I never followed through with them, and never really invested the emotions and energy into really utilizing goals for what they are. We probably all at a point have actually unconsciously made a goal. There might have been something that we wanted, like more than anything else, right? Maybe it was that big screen TV that we just wanted it really, really bad. And somehow when you focus on something, you find a way to make it happen. It's just a way of the universe. But when you don't have intentions, you end up going in circles. You end up going in just cycles that aren't really moving or benefiting your life in a positive way. And I know this from experience. I look back on my past now, and at times that I thought were failures, those were just learning experiences. We all have those. And a lot of them have to do with the fact that I just jumped into something and never really had an idea of what I wanted out of it, where I wanted to really gain from that experience. So and as I look back at those past experiences in different aspects of my life, I also look at the times that I did set real, true intentions. Excuse me. And for example, a couple years ago, I'm here in Shawnee, Oklahoma now, but we were in Las Vegas not too long ago. That's where my wife and I live. That's where my son was born. And as soon as my son was born, we wanted to move back to Oklahoma. We wanted to be back here with family. And over 3 years, we talked about it. We talked, and oh, sure wish we could back home. Wish there was a way we could make it happen. And then one July, 4th of July, we came out for a week to visit the family. We came out to spend some time out by mom's pool, having some cold drinks and sunshine, lots of laughs, and the coconut smell of the suntan oils, and just a really relaxing, fun, almost like it was on a beach. If there was a little bit of sand there, I could have dipped my toes into the hot sand, and it would have been like I was sitting by the beach. And we got back home after that experience, after being with family and feeling the love and the enjoyment and just that sense of being there. And then we got back home and we're all by ourselves back in Las Vegas, and we were all alone again. And we just made a decision that it was time to pick a day and go home. And we did. We sat down and we decided by October, I think it was 14th, it was a couple years ago now, that we were going to be back here in Oklahoma. And we made that decision in July, and over the course of the next couple months, things happened to fall into place, and we ended up back here in Oklahoma. It's funny, I even went to the job that I was working at the time, went to resign, tell them I was moving, and they didn't let me resign. They actually sent my computer and workstation with me, and I worked from here in Oklahoma from them for a while. So it setting that intention, though, and being so specific with it and so focused on it, it was really easy to achieve because it was just what we wanted, and there was nothing that was going to stop us once, especially once we sat down and picked that date. It was set in stone, so to speak, right? And then I can think about other times in my life when I didn't have a clear intention. When we got to Oklahoma, we got out here to Shawnee and we got real comfortable. It was real easy to just coast day to day. There was a lot going on personally, a lot of struggles I was going with, a lot of stuff I had to learn how to deal with because I had no idea how. I never learned those kind of emotions either when it comes to children and challenges. But I didn't really have a clear intention in mind, a clear goal, a clear direction of where I wanted to go. And about 8 months went by of this, just week after week of falling in the rut. A lot of us, we fall into the rut. We just get comfortable, and ruts, unfortunately, can go on for years and years at a time. People, I've worked with people that actually had jobs for 30 and 40 years at one company, and they were comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose, if that's where you want to be in life. That's fine. But most of us want a little more. We want to be able to achieve some of our dreams, some of our goals. When we were kids, we all had these big imaginations, these big dreams, these big ideas of what life would be when we got older and what we'd grow up to achieve. And a lot of times we've settled for things. I know over time over my life I've settled for things because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel that I really deserved to have that in my life. And it's because I didn't have that clear intention. I didn't have a goal in mind for my life. I was just aimlessly wandering and instead of being specific and direct with where I wanted to be. So it's important. I can't say enough how important goals and having those intentions really are. I know we hear this over and over again, and honestly, I'm coming from a person of experience, from somebody who has for 10 years or 15 years wanted to be an entrepreneur, wanted to have that internet laptop lifestyle, wanted to be influencing people and helping people and creating teams. And I've wanted that, but it's one thing to say, I want to be rich, right? That's really vague. It's very unspecific. It's just like saying, I want to be broke. Our minds can't function in that just wide, general, unspecific way. Our unconscious mind, if we want to actually achieve a result in our life, we need to be specific. We need to tell our minds what we want. So we need to have a specific dollar amount. Is your financial thermostat set for $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year? Is that all you feel that you're worthy and that your worth is $50,000 a year? Well, that's just programming. That's just your belief, and that's just what your intention is set right now. That's where your your thermostat's dialed. It doesn't mean that you can't make more. It doesn't mean you don't deserve to make more. It just means that that's where you're at with the information, the resources you have available to yourself right now. So over these past couple of years, as I've gone through these trainings and continued to develop and learn this process, because it's been a process. I mean, I've been blogging for coming on 3 years, and I'm still coming to you from the padded room here. And I'll save the padded room story for another time, but it's not really the padded room, right? This is the shop out in Shawnee. My office is above our apartments downstairs, and the padded wall. Okay, so there's the whole story. So, is this where I want to be in life? No, absolutely not. My best thinking got me here. Doesn't mean this is where I'm resigned to be forever. It just means this is where I am right now until I get the information, until I pull up the resources that I have inside me to move me to the next place in life. And I know now. I know where I want to go. I know what direction I'm headed, because I do have a very, very clear intention now. And one of those things that is part of my intention is really embracing the blogging, embracing this idea of sharing, who I am, sharing the opportunity, sharing that you can share your passions and have success. You can be shy. You can be the introverted guy like me, that was the one who sat in the back of the classroom, didn't raise his hand, and never wanted to be called on. I'd lean on the fence and try to hide behind everybody so that I was never picked out, and just a very shy person growing up. And that was programming. That was just limiting beliefs. And at one point I made the decision, am I going to be broke and shy, or am I going to take a risk? Am I going to set an intention that might involve getting out a little outside of my comfort zone? Maybe flipping on the video camera for a few minutes and talking and letting people know that I'm a real person, letting them know that I'm not some spammy robot coming from some third world country over in like Nigeria in the whole Bink thing. I mean, I'm just an average guy with above average expectations for my life. And those expectations cannot be met through just being an employee, through just getting a job. I've had to make significant changes in my life. I've had a really good job. It made me really, really good money, but there was something missing. It's not all about money. It's about being fulfilled. It's about doing what really, truly you're passionate about, right? And that's really important to understand what your passions are. A lot of us don't even know. It took me a long time to even learn what my passions really are. And it's funny, I've been in the sign business for almost 20 years, right out of high school. I was a Taco Bell assistant manager, and I went into the sign business in Las Vegas, made the signs that go over slot machines and casinos for many years. That's what I did. And wow, I totally just lost my train of thought. I am sorry about that. Oh, I kind of know where I was going. So I had that really good job, and the sign business over time actually became a passion to me. Being so involved with the neon and twinkling lights and seeing it, I started to learn about the Route 66 signs, and then just neon in general and LEDs and all this stuff. And now I can't even resist looking at signs hardly. I drive down the road and I'll see them, and they're everywhere to me. So it's become one of my passions. It's become more than a career or a job to me. It's become something that I truly enjoy doing. And I get to help business owners now. I go out and I help design them their sign and help get it going. So that part of my life is really fulfilling now. And the other part that I've always I've been working on, I've always wanted more, is that entrepreneurs, that the pipeline income, and I have to, if I mention anything about money, I want you to go ahead and click that income disclaimer at the bottom of the page, because we want to be transparent. I want to be honest with you always here, open, and let you know that I'm real. What we're doing is legitimate. It's gone through some beatings and some trials and tests, and we just keep coming out better and better every single time. And we'll get into that later. But the passion. So now I've decided that, you know, I really enjoy writing and blogging and sharing and inspiration and motivation and personal development, because it's helped me so much that I feel like that I'm obligated now to help others. And maybe if I even told you, you know, pick up the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek, and maybe that book, you picked it up and read it and it changed your life, and I had that little impact on you, then I know that I'm doing something fulfilling. I know I'm doing something that is really making change in the world, making a difference in people's lives. So now that I've got this blog that I can do that, and then I've got the signs during the day that I can help business owners offline, I've really created a life that at times I'm driving around, as I'm driving out to go do a sign survey or something, and I'll just find myself smiling and think, I can't believe that this is my life. It's so amazing where I've come from to where I am today. At one time, I was the draftsman. I at times call myself an engineer, and I can't do that because I didn't even finish high school. I didn't go to college. I'm not an engineer. I was a draftsman. What I did was very close to mechanical engineering, but I was just a draftsman, you know, and that's really, you know, I was even at the draftsman supervisor. That was like kind of the peak of that part of my career as an employee there. And you know, being the draftsman, we worked in a dark room. It's kind of funny, I'm in a dark room talking to you again. But we would sit at our little station and we would draw signs all day. We never spoke to customers. We never got out of the office, never went out in the field. And it was, at the time, it was great for me because of my personality, because that introverted personality that I have, I didn't really want to be out there. However, I saw how the other people were living too. I saw how the freedom of the project managers. I saw the money the salespeople were making, and that's, you know, as I started learning more about income streams, and after I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book that is probably responsible for more people's change of beliefs on money than any other book out there. But when I realized that there was different ways to make money, that there was passive income, there was you know, being an employer or an investor, the different quadrants, all of a sudden I realized that I was not resigned to just be that draftsman forever. I had the ability to become the project manager, and I did. I had the ability to become a salesman and make commissions and make the, you know, go out and earn based on the value that I provide to the marketplace. That's what I do today. So I've achieved many of these incredible goals in my lives that I had an intention. I like being a salesman. I never specifically wrote it down. I hate that word, you know, salesman. We've all have this real negative connotation of what a salesman is, and so consultant is what it just feels better, right? So today I'm following those dreams that a few years ago I never even imagined I would be the person that would do that. I never thought I'd be the person that would cold call a business, walk in and say, hey, how you doing? I was looking at your sign out front, and we've got some options for your signs. You know, and I've actually done that, and it was terrifying. Also, it's sort of like getting behind the camera on a webinar or a hangout like this. It's outside. It was outside my comfort zone. I don't know if you can relate. I've tried a lot of different businesses over the years. I've tried those type that they want you to, you know, chase down the people in the supermarkets and tell them you look like a sharp individual, and those things just didn't ever come natural to me because I just didn't feel good about that. That wasn't part of who I am. I like the idea that I can sit down and come up with an intention. I can think, okay, I'm going to write a blog post, and in this blog post, my outcome is going to be to provide value to my reader. And then I can let out some thoughts. I can let my what I've learned through some of my personal development, some of my training, I put it into a blog post, put it into a video, and put that value back into the marketplace, back out as a little representative of me now. Now, I've got this blog post that's out there working for me all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And as people are drifting around the internet and hitting different social sites, searching different things, there's a chance that they come across my blog post, they read maybe my post or see my video and put in their email address and make a decision that, you know what, I'm sick of doing what I'm doing too. Jeff's obviously done something a little bit different and he stuck with it for 3 years. There must be something to it. So why not give it a shot? And the fact that we've eliminated all of the risks. Now, I mean, when I started this a few years ago, it there there was no refunds, and the whole process was just put together in a very almost unprofessional way, because the creators weren't programmers. You know, these guys are marketers. They just knew that this vision, this idea they had was so powerful that it could help so many people. They just had to get it out there. And they knew over time, as people got involved, they would attract people with the skills and the backgrounds, the technology to build it up. And that's what's happened over time. We're actually on our third blogging system, the third blogging platform. This new one's called Kolatu. And it's awesome. It's super simple. It flows. It guides you through. It actually teaches you how to blog. When you first start up, it puts you through a 21-day challenge. We're in a 21-day blog challenge right now as the company. But when you start with the blog, it actually has a plugin built in to do a 21-day challenge too. And it asks you a series of questions and just guides you through the process of blogging. And it's that way you can focus on those important things, because the money-making activities are it's not even writing your blog post, right? It's not setting up your WordPress site. It's not putting in your plugins. It's not adjusting the width of the panels on the web page. The income producing activity is people actually seeing the content and taking action. So they've eliminated all of the technical stuff so you can focus on set your intention. What do you want from this? And we'll help you with that too. We'll help you set up a game plan so you can decide, you know, what do you really want from this business? What do you want in your life? And how does this all fit in? How does this puzzle piece fit in to the picture as a whole? And so then you can start putting that content out there for yourself, your little soldiers, as Dan likes to call it, out there, you know, setting up your little army of blog posts, going out there and reaching out to people and bringing them back to what you have to offer. If you've noticed if you followed me for any period of time, there's many different ways to blog. I mean, you can do the written typed blog. You can do the video blog. If you feel good about getting on a camera right away and you want to make some videos, I mean, go for it. It's awesome. Some people just like to find videos already on YouTube, some motivational, inspirational, niche specific. There's so many videos on there already that have such huge commercial appeal that you could just put them on your blog, maybe blurb a little bit about what your personal thoughts are on that video, how it made you feel, you know, what your reader could expect to get from it, and share it. And that's it. So here's the big three. These are the 3 steps to success. You know, it's blog daily, tell others, and get paid. It's pretty simple. It's not a motto. I want you to keep that in mind, and I want you to realize that those are called actions. Those are really what we do. So blogging, we've set that intention that, you know, if you need to sit down and just type it out and let some stuff out, do it. But I highly encourage you to pause, you know, before you sit down and you think and you're ready to just force a blog post out some way, somehow. Set an intention. You know, what is your end game going to be? What is it you want your reader, if you were switching roles, what would you want your reader, your viewer, to take away from that content? And then what do you want to get out of it? That's fair to say. That's fair to say, I'm going to post this blog post and I'm going to get 1 sale from this blog post, or I'm going to continually convert 10% of visitors that come to this blog post. It's perfectly fine for you to set those kind of intentions, and in fact, it will help you. The clearer you are, the more specific you can be. It takes some time to write it out. If you've got a whiteboard, write it out on a whiteboard, and really get down into your thoughts and feelings of what you want to share. and then create that content. It will flow better. Your viewers, your subscribers, readers will be more interested, they'll be more engaged, and they'll want to come back for more. So over time, it will become a habit. And you know, that's the other thing of the 21-day blog challenge. They say it takes 21 days to create a habit. Well, as you're doing that, if you start out right in the beginning, you start out fresh, if you're just getting started, you know, clicking that banner below and you're going to get started tonight, and just keep in mind that this is all just a process. And if you start in the beginning of setting up those good habits, setting up that habit of setting the intention right from the beginning, following the training, setting up your goal, your long-term intentions of what you want through the business, and each time you sit down to blog, it's going to be a much more enjoyable experience, and you're going to really feel good about what you're putting out there. Even if it's only a paragraph introducing a video you found on YouTube, take a second and really get clear on what you want out of that work you're going to do. It's important because your time is valuable, right? If you're going to work all day, if you're going to grind away for the man, and then you're going to come home and you're going to spend time with your family and your other commitments. And I've got kids. I've got my 7-year-old son, my 2.5-year-old daughter, and when I get home from the day job, I want to spend time with them. I want to spend time with my wife, but I also want to build my pipeline income. I want to build my fortune, and I have to be responsible for that. I have to be the one that takes action, and I have to be the one that sacrifices a little bit of my time. You know, so after the kids go to bed, then I come back up to the office and do a little work, or get up early in the morning. I like to get up before everybody. I'm an early riser, but you've got to be willing to carve out a little bit of time and carve out a space in your life to fit this in. Because just dipping your toe in, just oh, I'll try it out and hum and hawing, that's not going to do it. You're not going to get the full experience. If you really want to take the most from this, if you really want to get absolutely everything you can out of the blogging system, out of Empower Network, out of our team, you've got to be open-minded. You've got to be willing to empty your cup and allow our leaders, allow the system to fill it back up with information that can actually benefit you, that can actually support your dreams and your vision of what your life should be. Because we all deserve that. Don't you agree? Don't you think that you deserve to achieve your goals just as much as the guy next to you? Don't you believe that you deserve to take your family on a yearly trip to a really nice place instead of just maybe going to the lake? I know that at times we get complacent. We think that it's time to just give up on our hopes and give up on our dreams, and we've got a good thing going. But let's just be honest here. Let's look around. Let's look at the shit that's going on in the news, and let's be real honest here and realize that it's not certain. The only certainty out there is the certainty you have in yourself and your abilities and your willingness to do more than the average guy. Because if you're watching this, if you've watched this far along, if you're here, you're obviously not average. You're obviously above average. You're obviously willing to at least open your mind to other ideas, to other experiences, and I give you a big, huge round of applause for that. That that you're in a very special group of people, and we're the people that are really responsible for creating the wealth that supports the world, right? The producers, the people that actually go out and produce, are the ones that have the most success. So you have to be willing to follow along, do the directions, and we've eliminated all the risk. The platform is solid, it's stable. You can get in and start blogging within an hour. You can go through the initial training, the level up sequence they call it, and have your first blog post up. And then over the next 21 days, you can be guided through exactly how to post a blog. And when I started a few years ago, there was no breaks, there was no discounts, there was no bundles. You paid full price, and that was it. So it was the full $25 for the blog, and the full $19.95 for the affiliate if you wanted to be able to earn as an affiliate. So when I started, I saw the value, I saw the opportunity, I could see a little glimpse of the future that maybe I fit into. So I just jumped in. I paid the 25, the 1995, because if I'm gonna do it, heck, I want to make money off of it. And I got started. So, and like I said, at that time, there wasn't even an option for a refund. That didn't come till like a year after I started it, before they even offered a refund. And I made the decision because I felt that this was the place for me, and it is. This is the business I've always been looking for, and this is how I'm going to leave my mark on the world. This is how I'm going to have an impact on people. This year, my goal for this year is to bring in 30 new bloggers. I'm going to have 30 people blogging on my team by the end of this year. It's my goal. One of my intentions for my business. And you can go ahead and be one of those bloggers by just clicking the banner below this video and getting started tonight. Because tonight, you can get started for $9. That includes 60 days of being an affiliate. So that includes for 2 months having the ability to earn the full commissions on the product without ever even having to spend the money in the first place. And I mean, that's pretty awesome. That just wasn't even an option, like I said, when I started. And the discount to start for $9 instead of the 25, even 25, that's hardly a commitment. And actually, I've thought about this often, that I thought that 25 was way too low, because that's not even really enough of a commitment to get somebody invested. You know what I mean? $25, that's like, me and my wife can go out to fast food and spend $25 on dinner. So $25 it doesn't really make you feel anything. Most people, some absolutely, but like $99. That's something, if you spend $99, you're like, okay, now I'm gonna give it a shot because I got $100 on the line. But no. Empower knows what they're doing. These guys, we're talking about some of the best marketers in the world. So they're going to let you try it out for $9 and experience everything. Go through the level up sequence. Go through the initial process, so that you have to too. And I don't want you to skip any of it. I want you click the banner below and just take some time on the next page, click around, click the map, and check out how it pops up in the different countries, the little videos, and then put your email address in. Because if you don't experience this, and think about this as you're going through it too, you need to be thinking of this from the perspective of somebody you might be showing this to. Is this something you would feel good about showing to your mom? Right? This is something I feel good about. I'm showing my mom. I'm absolutely going to. I've talked to her about it many times already. But we don't have to chase our friends and family, and I don't push this on anybody. I don't heavily even promote my stuff on my Facebook page, because we don't have to. If you don't want people around you to know what's going on right now, that's perfectly fine. If you want to be standing on check with on stage with a big old $10,000 check first before your brother knows what you're doing, that's totally up to you, and it can be done. So yeah, $9. I mean, and here's to just make that a little bit safer, because I know there's thoughts out there, right? Well, $9 is $9. That's my money. Well, okay, if you get started at $9 and you go through the level up sequence, you meet Mars, you meet Michelle, you just experience the whole thing, and you just don't see your place in here, you don't see how your vision, your future could be a part of this, then just hit the button down in the bottom left-hand part of the screen is a little support tab, and right there on screen you can pop up chat and you can say, hey, I want a refund, and no questions asked, they'll give you a complete refund, and for 14 days. So for 2 weeks, you can actually try this out, and anytime in that 2 weeks, you can say, no, it's not for me. I want my $9 back, and they'll just give it back. No questions asked. I'm not gonna hound you. I'm not gonna chase you down and ask you why you quit. None of that. If you go, you go. If you stay, you stay. Now, what you can expect, if you're ready, if you're willing, here's what you can expect. You can expect to go through this incredible presentation and this incredible process that's going to explain to you in detail how this can all fit into your life and how you can make it a part of your life. And then after you go through everything, after you get started and you're signed up and ready, I'll get in touch with you so that we can do some coaching. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. I know some things not to do. Those are a couple things that when we get on the phone, I'll tell you, a couple things. Here's what we do on a daily basis. This is what we do on a weekly basis. Here's what don't do. Don't buy stuff like, I don't even know if AdFly is around anymore, but don't buy crappy ads like that. And just help you to understand how this all can be part of your game plan, can be part of what you want and part of your ultimate future. After we do the coaching, you can expect for me to engage with you in your blog posts. If you're going to engage in the system and become part of the team, I'll invite you out to these hangouts. I like to have other people on the team on these hangouts. Nobody was available tonight, and that's okay too. I don't mind coming out and talking for a bit and just sharing. But I do encourage my team to get on camera as quickly as possible, get over that fear, because these hangouts allow us to invite people. They allow us to let other people know that we're real people, and having a few people on these hangouts is very beneficial because it builds more social proof. And if you want social proof, just jump on Facebook and you can see all kinds of social proof. There's also social proof on the page when you click the banner below this video. So we've done everything we can to really bring together a just click and go simple system. I'm so glad that I didn't have to program all this. I wanted to tell you, a couple weeks ago, a few minutes ago, I was talking about that one of my passions is the sign business. Well, I want to start kind of branding myself. I do the design, so I started virtualsigndesign.com as a little way to start showcasing my own designs and the customers I'm working with. So I wanted it to match the Klaatu blog because that is so awesome. And right now we can't have multiple domain names. Soon we will, and I'll go ahead and just move my sign website over there. But for the time being, I had to go ahead and get hosting and domain name hosting, and I put in the WordPress and all the plugins, and I started that a little over 3 weeks ago. In that period of time, it took me 3 weeks to get that blog up and to have 3 pages and 3 posts. And during that time, using the Empower Network Klaatu, I blog daily. I already finished one 21-day blogging challenge, and I've got over 30 blog posts just from doing daily. Sometimes I put up 2 blog posts, and that's okay if you got time. I like to do a video of the day in the morning, and then later on do the blog challenge. So sometimes you end up with a couple posts a day. I might even throw this hangout on a blog post. So I might end up with 3 posts a day. It really doesn't matter because you're creating content, so it's good. You're creating those little virtual real estate spots out there that are working for you. So the whole process is really intended for 2 things. Obviously to show you what it's all about, to show you how you can utilize it, how you can make money from it, but it's also to show you what other people are going to experience as they're going through it, as they're doing what you're doing too. And there's so much out there. There's so many fly-by-nights. We've all probably been affected at one point or another by something that was too good to be true, right? And that's what a lot of times people looked at this and they looked at Empower Network. This is a scam. Why would I pay for a blog? Why would I do this? And when I could get a free blog? Well, the free blogs, you don't own your content. I've tried those too, the bloggers and stuff. And you post something they don't like or do something, they just shut you down. Some people, why would I pay to make money? Because a lot of people out there have that employee mindset and don't realize that they are paying for the money they make. It's just the price we pay, right? What is the price you're willing to pay? Because you're either going to trade your time for money, or you're going to use your money to leverage to make more money. And in starting out, we all are pretty much at the point where we have to, leverage our time. We have to trade our time for money. But if we're smart, if we do things like start developing new habits, setting intentions, setting goals, and then just doing everything we can to achieve our goals. And you know what? Sometimes we may not make it. Sometimes we may not hit our goal. We might set a 90-day definite chief aim and not even come close. And that does not matter, because what matters is that you're programming yourself to live successfully. Okay, look at success. We can look at just books from any leaders in business, leaders in philosophy, leaders in spirituality, and all of them. I'm losing my track. I lost my track of thought again. Some caught my eye over here and turn my head for a half second and lose my track. But in any of those success philosophies, they're going to teach you that you've got to set goals. You've got to have intentions. You got to know what you want. It's real hard to get somewhere when you don't know where you're going. There's I like the analogy they use of the boats of the ocean, and you have to set your sail in order to get somewhere, right? If you were to just let the winds take your boat and go, eventually you're going to smash into the shore. You're going to hit the rocks. It's really having a purpose and understanding where you want to go that makes all the difference in the results you get in your life. If you feel like you're feeling desperation, if you're feeling like life's out of control, if you're feeling like, things just are spiraling, it's probably because you don't have a clear intention. You don't have a clear vision for what you want. You're living in a state of reacting to life happening to you, right? And a lot of people think that life happens to them, when in reality, that it's reaction. It's the way that we're, instead of being proactive, instead of moving forward, instead of falling, and maybe we smash our face on the ground, but damn it, we got to get up and keep moving. You just got to keep going. And if you don't, then you fall, you fail, right? And having those intentions, having a goal, knowing what's worth fighting for in your life, that's going to help you get back up. And you got to dig deep. You got to really, really understand what it is you want to do. And it can't be unspecific. So be clear on what you want in life, my friend. Be clear on the money you want to make. Be clear on the car you want to drive. Be clear on the house you want to live in. Be clear on the investments you want to make. Be clear on what you want. Go out there, set intentions. Click the link below. Click the banner below. Go through that, experience it. Put your email address in. I'll be waiting for you on the other side, and I will see you on the next live broadcast. Have a great day, my friend.